Many thanks for the kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, members of the foreign and local diplomatic community, good afternoon. On behalf of CBRE, it's a great pleasure to be standing in front of you today during this momentous day to celebrate the groundbreaking of a project that will change not only the landscape of Clark, but the landscape of the Philippines. First of all, I want to congratulate KGL, GGDC on this incredible feat. GGLC is a true game changer for the real estate industry, being one of the first foreign-owned developers in the country and competing with the likes of the major central business districts in Manila, Fort Bonifacio, Makati, but also some of the other major landmarks and CBDs globally. Only now are we seeing facilities that truly meet the standard of international business process outsourcing companies, call centers, and shared services organizations, such as the pioneers in lead buildings and development that have been a growing trend for foreign firms investing and locating into the Philippines. As a world-class master plan community in Clark, we continue to see growing foreign appetite to invest and locate in world-class facilities here in Clark. Just a couple of points I wanted to address. Who are we, CBRE? As we mentioned, we're the largest real estate services corporation globally with revenues in excess of $14 billion. We've witnessed many growth cycles globally, both in the US, in Asia, in Europe, etc. We're some of the pioneers behind the real estate business process outsourcing industry over 20 years ago. Mark talked a little bit about Field of Dreams, and I remember when I returned to the country, people thought, why was I coming back to the Philippines, the land I was born in, but there was really no commercial real estate market. However, 20 years later, we see one of the fastest growing central business districts in Asia with over 6 million square feet a year of take-up. We anticipate by 2018, that'll be over 8.5 million square feet a year of new take-up, which exceeds Hong Kong, exceeds Tokyo, and is 3 times Singapore. But there's plenty of room to grow as we've witnessed the growth in BPO in India. So today's market is absolutely booming. One of the things we looked at closely was when I worked in London, and I was actually in London last week, and I was thinking a lot about Clark. I took the air light rail down to Canary Wharf, and I thought about 20 years ago when we were looking at bringing some of the major locators out of the city of London into the East End and Canary Wharf. I thought about similar experiences when we did the same thing from Manila into Fort Bonifacio, or moving locators into India, and that's where I see Clark now in that development cycle. Great opportunities here. The Philippines is constantly ranked in the top 10s in Tolan surveys. Philippines and India with being the top locations for BPO corporations. And Clark will be the next hot hub. We've worked on projects such as Aeropark City in New York. We worked on Canary Wharf in London, as I mentioned. We've worked in Osaka Bay. We've also worked in Fort Bonifacio. We also were involved in the original master plan here in Clark almost 20 years ago. So it's nice to see Clark growing and thriving and so well positioned. Clark's also attracting many global multinationals, not to mention the Icors, the Sutherlands, the Taskus, the Convergences, to name a few. Some of our big clients, such as Accenture, have gone from 0 to over 40,000 people. Accenture's gone to 80,000 people just in the last less than 15 years. Clark is truly an amazing destination. The Freeport benefits are basically world-class and unmatched. The proximity to the Northern Luzon Expressway, the Southern Luzon Expressway, Clark Airport, etc. The infrastructure left here is very difficult to replicate. And what was left here by the Americans in terms of airstrips, etc. And one of the biggest challenges we see in the Philippines now is having a world-class airport. Well, Clark is an amazing run strip. We can still land the space shuttle on, so infrastructure is already here. You also see some of the major taipans and developers in the area growing and expanding, so definitely Clark is it. In terms of locations, I like to describe it in terms of being in the best house, in the best neighborhood, in the best city, in the best country in the world. So this is where we are today, and this is the opportunities we're seeing here. We've been involved in the project since day one, many years ago. We're looking forward to doing the marketing for it, and also seeing this project through fruition. We also see this being a major hub for BPOs. We've seen a lot of interest thus far, and we see really Clark is really the next hot wave city in the Philippines. So no doubt this day couldn't have come at a more opportune time as the Philippines in the global spotlight, shining as a confident tiger nation of the Philippines, clearly no longer the sick man of Asia. Next week we'll be seen at APEC, so be very happy to tell President Obama, President Putin, President Xi, to name a few, about the great things that are happening up here in Clark. We're hosting over 200 global leaders next Monday night, and Clark will be a hot topic. The GGL project officially kicking off, we are fast becoming contenders, not just the BPO sectors, but many other sectors. With the coming of Asian integration, we see opportunities only getting brighter. Having said that, a big congratulations to the team. Thank you for making all this happen. I couldn't think of a better place to be today. Thanks very much. Maraming salamat po.